Okay, this league is not really going very well, but I guess we can still try to go for a 3-2 result. So there's no really reason to mulligan this hand. We can still draw a couple of lands. We have a couple of cards that draw other cards. We just need to draw the third land. What could be wrong? Nothing really. Another Affinity. Seems correct to play Traveling Inspector, yeah, so next turn I can play Jeskai Fisher and bring back the Traveling Inspector, unless they want to kill my Traveling Inspector with their Frogmite. Since I draw another Traveling Inspector, I think that would be better to play Echo Wellspring. For the simple reason that I want to be able to draw the third land right now. And I can eventually crack the Echo Wellspring with Foundry Inspector, with Foundry Helix. Anyway, I think I should jump block here. So to force them wasting one Galvanic Blast on my Traveling Inspector. Done. There's no really reason to play a green talk here. I can just slam a Traveling Inspector. I truly want another land. Alright, go for your Ancestral Recall. Reinforcer, yep, gonna kill it. Wow, okay. Bolt, draw a card. Can I draw a land, please? Don't tell me that you have a spell piercing hand. Oh, that's fine. And we are gonna pass. Outer Blood Fountain. They draw a card with the blue token, play land, or cards in hand. Not playing anything. Nice. I guess they have a Galvanic Blast in hand or something similar. Anyway, I'm just slamming my Jeskai Fisher, pass, crack my Clue token, and see what's happened. Oh, apparently they have a lot of lands in hand. Sure. All right. Sure. Probably I was supposed to crack the Clue token before. I think I don't really should care about the Disciple of the Vault for now. Well, if they have 2 copies of Disciple of the Vault, probably I should care about Disciple of the Vault. Oh, how surprising. Crackling Shaman. What? Okay. You're wasting one Galvanic Blast just to attack with your Frogmate. That's truly bad. I mean, thank you, opponent. I mean, I think you don't really win this game by killing my Shaman Inspector to attack with your Frogmate. Seems a waste of resources. Oh well, anyway, I draw my best rock, so we are rocking with Glintok. And I also think that I want to attack with my Traben Inspector. Alright, your turn, opponent. I missed this turn land drop, but that doesn't really... I don't really care about that right now. It's better to have double creature that can eventually be relevant. They bring it back, double Disciple of the Vault. Don't tell me they draw Kraken Shaman. They bring it back, double Disciple of the Vault, but they play only one. That seems kind of weird. Alright, second copy of Mirror Enforcer. Second copy of Mirror Enforcer. So we start with Experimental Synthesizer. Oh, that's nice. Go, Glintok! I think I want to play first my lands so I can play both Traben Inspector and Galvanic Blast, or to be able to play double Galvanic Blast or double burn spells. Alright. Attack. Yeah, I think I should attack with everything and kill the Enforcer. There's no maybe there's no reason to... No. Here they probably don't want to block with Frog... They probably don't want to block with Enforcer. Probably they're blocking with Frogmate. So seems reasonable to kill their Enforcer. In end, they have another Disciple of the Vault. They're taking all the damage. Weird. Okay. And they still have 3 clue tokens to crack. Alright. Second copy of Disciple of the Vault. Sacrifice Blood Fountain. Bring back double Enforcer. Ah! They draw Dispute. Sure, draw your 3 cards. So I guess it's time to lose to a random draw of makeshift munitions or Kraken Shaman. Land. Kraken Shaman. Okay. Easy problem. Ho ho! When mana draw a card, seems good. All right. Don't mess up. That's not bad. I think I can eventually also play another experimental synthesizer, just to try to find another burn spell. Because if I found another burn spell, I can eventually win. Because I'm already dealing for damage with not only my Glint Hooks, Galvanic Blast and Lightning Bolt. Nice. Okay, I'm attacking for little. So if they lose 4 lives, they go down to 5. I think it's better to just go straight to the phase. They conceded. That's so nice. So they didn't draw any Reckoners. Well, Reckoners by gain, they don't play it clearly because they play Towcast. They may have Spell Pierce, but anyway, I was able to survive this game, mostly because they played kind of weirdly in the last couple of turns, in my opinion, at least. I think that bringing Gorilla Shaman is the right choice, and usually I suppose that boarding out makeshift munitions is better, especially if they play the blue splash for Towcast, etc. They probably don't have Frogmite, so there's not so many reasons to keep makeshift munitions. I don't know if they play Fury Cannonade, so it's better probably to just go with Gorilla Shaman and probably not bring our Cleric. If we see that they keep makeshift munitions, we can go with them bring our Cleric. That's obviously a mulligan. Wow. I think I'm not supposed to keep this end. I have a true draw to draw a land, and I have 4 cards that draw an extra land. So I think that taking this risk seems kind of correct. Not sure if I should top bottom experimental synthesizer or seeker. Probably synthesizer, mostly because it costs more mana to profit from it. Basically I want to play my experimental synthesizer starting from turn 3. Yeah, it's still a when mana draw a card, but if I don't draw a land, especially in early game, the card is clunky as fuck. Alright, alright. Oh no. I think I should start with Traveling Spectre, eventually I can crack the Clue token. Do this? No, Blood Fontaine. Ah. Then I can play Argent Requite, because next turn I'll play Traveling Spectre. Probably was supposed to play Glint Hook here, because I don't really have a lot of... Oh yes! Do it! Discard my Equal Wellspring. I draw another Equal... Oh! They also draw one lander. Ha, that's nice. Oh, my little dudes. Yeah, I was supposed to play Clean Talk in my previous turn. Now they can sacrifice the Blood Token to draw an extra card, I guess. Nah, they draw... okay. I attack for 5. They play 2 less lands compared to me, but they can draw with 2 cast, with Blood Token, etc. So I'm misfavorated right now. I'm unfavorated right now. If they... alright, no other Frogmites. Seems cool. If they don't have a Galvanic Blast, maybe I can win. If I attack with everything, then I play Korsky Fisher, I bring back a Trabin, they get 6 damage this turn. Sure, I should attack with everything now. I should bring back Trabin Inspector, I guess. Anyway, they can jump block it with their Frogmite. Anyway, okay, they draw the third land. So if they found a Removal spell, I'm gonna lose this game. If they don't draw a Galvanic Blast or a Cat Down, that will be an easy GG. They don't even have a Little Dispute. They discarded Dispute. G. They conceded, yeah. Oh boy. Okay, at last I was able to win one game. We still have 2 games more, and let's see what we are facing. This is the third leg I'm playing with the deck, and it's truly weird that I still wasn't able to face a first deck. First is supposed to be the best deck in the format, and it's really weird to not being able to play against fairies at all, on Magical Line. I faced Affinity something like 4 times, which is not really a lot of time, but still I was able to face at least one Affinity per league, and not being able to face yet a first deck seems kind of worrying, because usually you when this happens you will face only fairies in your next week's on Magical Line. That's not kind of crazy, but that's really sad.
Alright, that's the 4th match, if I'm not wrong, so we are starting first. The starting end is kind of weird because it's not real aggressive, it's more like an interactive end. Probably we can try to keep it because we have makeshift munitions, and we are sure to draw at last the 4th land, thanks also to Charming Inspector. I think that's a calculated risk. With this deck, probably I don't really want to keep this kind of land, at least usually. Especially if I don't know what the opponent is playing. For example, here the opponent is playing Cycle Storm. Celeste is probably playing Cycle Storm, because the Cycle does crit rate. So game 1 we can do match, because we don't really have with this starting hand any way to put a lot of pressure on the battlefield. Post side we can bring in our free copies of Relic of Progenitus, which seems great. Opponent is starting with an early weird turn 1 because they probably kept a starting hand without a colored mana land, So they cycled first street rate, then they proceeded to cast Cabal Ritual just to draw more cards, trying to find a land. Well, I guess the correct play here is just to slam a Trouble Inspector and pass. I think I'm... Okay, they cycled a Granite Healer, but they haven't found the second land. That's so cool. Alright, I guess it's time to play Experimental Synthesizers. I find what we can... Let's see what we can find. Alright. So we are bringing back Experimental Synthesizer, exiling a Foundry Alex. Then we are just leaving the Foundry Alex in exile because we can't obviously cast it. I'm leaving it 1 mana open to cast Galvanic Blast. I want to keep preserving my card advantage with Experimental Synthesizer, since I can also draw more creatures and more burn spells, and burn spells at lasting M1 are truly good against them. Okay, I think we should attack here with our creatures. Then we can play Seeker of the Way. And I think I want to play also Makeshift Munition, since Makeshift Munition can become for extra damages thanks to Galvanic Blast. Yeah, I'm not able to play... No, wait, maybe we should keep Makeshift Munitions in hand, because Munitions next turn is an extra damage with Seeker, but since we are planning to play both Galvanic Blast and Experimental Synthesizer, Munitions here... Munitions next turn can become 3 extra damages, so one extra damage compared to casting Makeshift Munitions next turn. So I think it's fine to play it right now, and we are probably lethal next turn, unless they try to combo off this turn, but they need a Black Swamp at least. But they didn't found anything. They have only 10 lives, and I think we are pretty sure to be lethal. That's cool. That's turn 5 lethal. That's a lot of... That's truly good. We were truly lucky to find the Experimental Synthesizer. Okay, that's useless. Galvanic Blast, target them. And we are lethal. So, post side, we don't really need Makeshift Munitions or Foundry Alex. At least Munitions is truly bad. Relic of Progenitus. I literally played Relic of Progenitus to fight decks like Cycle Storm because I don't want to lose against them. Probably what I should board out, I'm not really sure. Because Synthesizer seems good to go faster, especially with Seeker of the Way. I probably want all my board spells because they're good against this kind of deck. Probably I should board out 100 Alex. I can keep my Corval Spring just because I need some rocks for my Glint Hooks and Korsky Fisher. Alternate Recruit are good because it's a free creature for only 1 mana. Trouble Inspector seems kind of bad, but gives extra Metalcraft. I'm thinking about Dawnbringer Cleric because you can exile a creature from their graveyard, preventing them to go too much faster. But compared to the other creatures I'm playing, probably it's just straight worse because we are probably taking out something like a Foundry Alex or Trouble Inspector just to bring in Dawnbringer Cleric, but Dawnbringer Cleric costs 2 mana, so I don't really think that I want to play Dawnbringer Cleric. Anyway, game 2, we can try to mulligan until we find a Relic of Progenitus. If I'm not able to find a Relic of Progenitus, at least I want to keep a a really fast starting hand. Anyway, we have a Relic of Progenitus in the first 7 cards, so that's a keep from my point of view. Probably we should also play around Duress. We know that Cycle Storm plays Duress in their sideboard, so I think it's better to play around it. Anyway, our Tretafeita, for example, is not really gonna do anything more than 1 single damage. So they have a Dark Ritual first. They're cycling a lot of cards, I guess. Cycle, 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 cycle. Cycle, 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 cycle. So your opponent, what are you doing? You are cycling your dinosaur. I am exiling your spell. With a Relic of Progenitus, probably we will... Oh! Okay, that's cool. Unexpected, but... Oh well, let's see. So our Raquit doesn't seem really great imposing Antivantasaurus to target for Exhume, but I presume they just wanted to slam a blocker, and it also has Vigilance. Oh wow. What you're doing, another Vantasaur? We're gonna lose the Vantasaur beatdown, will be really really bizarre. They probably want to reanimate the returning Stinger. Nope. Okay. All right. Draw another land. So I'm playing Anston then. If I attack, I can kill their imposing Vantasaur. I already landed a land. I can eventually just go straight Glintoke, bounce back Relic, exile another card. Where that they exile the one creature instead of Cavalry as well. Probably I can just go safer with a Korsky Fisher, bouncing back Traben Inspector. If I have a Relic of Progenitus and they are really, if they are not in a really good spot, I think I'm pretty safe enough to. Oh, they have another Exhume. Wow. Okay. Anyway, that's just a 5/5 creature, and I have enough Charm Blocker to kill it. They're just trying to go for the beatdown approach. I think that's not really great against me, but... Anyway. We play Eco Roll Spring, another Galvanic Blast. Okay. I can play a Glintoke, bouncing back Eco Roll Spring, I think. So they can't attack now. They don't have enough cards in hand or in the graveyard to try it. Oops, probably I should have attacked with Korsky Fisher. Anyway, I think that's fine. So I can, for example, Chant Block with Korsky Fisher and Ardent Recruit a Striper Red Winder. Oh, they're truly going for the beatdown approach. Yeah, it's better to just lose one single Korsky Fisher instead of the Glintoke. Anyway, if they kill the Argent Recruit instead of my Korsky Fisher, it's kind of good. They wasted a lot of resources just to trying to raise me, and that's fine for me. I mean, they probably have some answers in your deck, maybe Artifact 8 to kill my Relic of Progenitors, but they clearly don't have in hand, or at least they didn't have found yet. So I can just keeping trying to waste their resources, trying to force them wasting their resources, and I'll see if they are able to find any answer to my Relic of Progenitors or to my double Galvanic Blast, targeting their opposing Bantasaur. If I found a land the next turn, I'm landing a Trovan Inspector, so I can chum block their imposing Vantasaur. Eventually I can just chum block with Jiggling Hook. What are you doing? Are you trying to do something new? Do you have another Axiom? You are trying to combo off? What are you doing? Okay. Oh, you are... okay. So... cool. We have another Windscore Crack. Exile one card, please. This dude dies straight from a Galvanic Blast. I can chum block with Gorski with Glint Hook and blast it. I think we are pretty fine. I can land the Trovan Inspector just to chum block the Repository Scrap. So... well, anyway, I think it's better to not attack right now. They only have a one card in hand. And if I don't attack with my Korski Fish, Glint Hook, they probably can't attack with their Repository Scrap. Okay, they decided to attack. So I can think of chum blocking this dude with my Korski Fisher and Glint Hook, and chum block the imposing Vantasaur with the Trovan. There's no real reason to chum block the imposing Vantasaur actually, but I can double block their free creature. There's no reason to lose more creatures actually. Then sacrifice one blue token in my hand, in their hand phase, take 3 damage. They're passing, so they can't destroy my relic in their hand phase, so I mean, clocking 1 clue. And okay. Exile 1 card, please. I can attack with Glint Hook. Anyways, this game is probably not gonna win by erasing them. If I kill this dude, I can just... can I lose a 1 Korski Fisher? Or is it better to jump block with Glint Hook? Probably it's better to jump block. Okay, that's fine. Play the Coral Spring. That's also cool, fine. So we are gonna pass. So this dude is gonna die. Yeah, it's better to kill it with Galvanic Blast or with Thunder Alex, right? Because we can sacrifice the Eco Roll Spring, and Korska Fisher can still bounce back to Trovan Inspector. We're attacking with Trovan. Exile 1 card from the graveyard. Then I'll play Korski Fisher and Trovan Inspector and a tap land. Yeah, it's fine to play the game line, I think. And right now I'm pretty confident. Okay, they found an Ash Barons. Snooker Island. But I keep the Snooker Island in hand. And well, we have a lot of burn spells in hand. can tap the mountain since we have not untapped red source in hand. Okay, that's a lot of damage. That's only 14 damages. But since they play street rate, I can play the untapped red source. Even if they have an answer to Relic, if they try to combo off, we can kill them with my burn spells if they cycle a street rate. And we also have women open to crack Relic of Progenitors, so they need to find against two different cards, two different ways for me to win this game. I think that is fine for me to let them resolve the Exhume, so I can bring back my Korsky Fisher, bounce back Traben, idle for flying damages, have a lot of flying creatures. This blue dude doesn't really do anything against me, it's just useless. So, bolt you, bolt you, bolt you again. I'm keeping the last lightning bolt just to be sure. Maybe they have this, but let's go. Okay, attack for 4. Let's see if I'm able to find another lightning bolt, because maybe they have eventually something, but I have 3 cards in it. This dude doesn't really do anything. They conceded. Cool! Basically I won against one of my worst matchup, because in game 1 they didn't found the second land, and in game 2 I had the Relic of Progenitus near the game. They didn't have any answer, but a bunch of Exhume that did really nothing. They exhumed a couple of creatures, but I had enough answers and resources creatures to just charm black and kill their creatures. And finally I was able to win by dealing them a lot of damage thanks to my burn spells. And Fun Relics, I do really appreciate this card. It's probably not really great as a burn spells, but since it's an extra burn spells, it gets you some life and can sacrifice an Equal Wildspring. From my point of view, is a right card for this deck. It's not really great, but seems fit as a late game burn spell, so at least burn spells or value card. You can also answer Guardian of the Guild Pact. Alright, that's the last game, the last match of this league with Boros Metalcraft. We are playing against Clint 21, which is a kill dude from Greece, if I remember correctly. My starting hand seems kind of slow, but at least we can play Argent Recruit, Yotrab and Korsky Fisher. And since we don't know what the opponent is playing, it seems kind of good too as a start. I think here is fine to start with Travenin, playing Travenin Spectra. Next turn we can play Argent Recruit, top land. Seems okay. That's the mirror match, or we are playing against Jeskai. Let's find out. Galvanic Blast, Seat of Synod, that's Jeskai. Jeskai Control, Jeskai Ephemerate seems kind of fine as matchup because we have a lot of different approach for this for the game. We can raise them, we can burn them. I don't want to play my experimental synthesizer right now. I think the first experimental synthesizer will probably countered by a counter spell, so probably it's fine to force them to play the first counter spell on the first experimental synthesizer. I guess here we will see a counter spell targeting my synthesizer, then we are landing an Equal Wellspring. It's not safe to land a Jeskai Ephemerate here because they can blow the Tropan Inspector, so we are losing the advantage from Jeskai Ephemerate. We will eventually lose our advantage from Jeskai Ephemerate, I mean. Okay. I need another land, I think. Well, at last... okay, they also had the Galvanic Blast. Next turn they're landing Nebuki Drifter. Also, weirdly, Makeshift Ammunition seems kind of good against them. Okay, we can play Experimental Synthesizer. Let's see what we found. Carbon Inspector. Better than nothing, I think. Inscore Crag. Pass the turn. They also didn't found the land, but they draw the land for this turn. Not sure if it's right to waste my burn spells on them right now because we don't have a lot of race. They also have Metalcraft, so Seeker will probably gonna die from a burn spell. So I'm assuming that it's safe to don't play around burn spells when we are playing Seeker. Okay. They had also the second copy of Counter Spell, but they didn't have the third Galvanic Blast, I mean. Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice. Oh. Okay, that's truly good now. Let's see if they also have the third copy of Counter Spell. Will be truly troublesome, I guess. No, don't counter my Muldrifter. Ah! Okay, I think I should just draw one card with my clue. Draw a land, play at the land. Archmancer, sure. I don't have a lot of Metalcraft in the battlefield. Galvanic Blast, okay. Should I kill their Archmancer? Probably yes. The thing is, do they have Ephemerate in hand? Because if they have Ephemerate, it's worth to play 100 Alex as the second burn spells. But anyway, I already have a lot of lives, and doesn't really matter the life in this matchup. So I can blow first the Equal Wellspring with Foundry Alex just to try to find if they have their Ephemerate, and then blow the Archmonster with the Light Bullet. Sure, I was expecting that. Okay, we are attacking with Traven. They bring it back their Galvanic Blast, so let's force them blow the Seeker of the Way instead of another creature eventually. The sad part about the current situation is that they do have triple counterspell in the early game, and they were able to counter bot Mikorski Vishak and Took. So now I don't really have a lot of cards, so I think I can first attack with Travel Inspector, then crack the experimental synthesizers, and if I'm enough lucky, they will not have another counter spell, and if I'm enough lucky, I'm not exiling a Glint Hook. So let's see if they have another counter spell. They may have those Focus or counter spell. Anyway, Makeshift Munition seems kind of good against them in this spot, especially since we have a lot of burn damage in hand. I think that and now we can blow our own creatures and artifact lands just to deal extra damage. So they don't have counterspell. That's not a Rocky Monster, I guess. Dignitary. Okay. We are short of 2 damage to win on the spot. I presume that it's safe to lightning bolt them. I don't want to waste my Galvanic Blast on Dignitary, so I'm firing first Galvanic Blast because now I don't have Metalcraft. And I draw another Galvanic Blast. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 damages from Makeshift Munitions. Then we have another 5 damages. That's something like 9 damages. We are still missing 2 damage to 1. If I had another artifact, obviously that would be me that I had enough. Okay, I can kill. I can sacrifice the token with Makeshift Munition. Your turn. What are you doing? Okay, that's the Monarch. I think I don't want to waste my resourcing trying to kill their creatures because they can also have an Ephemerate. Oh, that's nice. We can try to kill them. 7 damage, 8 damage from Makeshift Munition. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm lethal and I want to kill your lives, your life point. Yeah, we are lethal, yeah. And I'm gonna sacrifice first the Dragon Inspector. Munition head. Munitions is crazy good with artifact land. Alright, so against them, I'm not sure if I want your Relic of Progenitus, but Relic of Progenitus seems kind of good. Still, Relic of Elemental Blast seems better compared to Foundry Relics, for example. Foundry Relics cost 2 much mana, and Relic of Progenitus doesn't really do anything besides trying to stop them from the Ephemerate loop. But usually I think that it's better to just go for Red Elemental Blast and more Lightning Bolt spells. So basically I think it's kind of safe to keep 7 more spells, 2 copies of Makeshift Munitions, because munitions can both crack Equal Wellspring and deal extra damage. and they can't really prevent makeshift munitions unless they find an Hydroblast, obviously. Red Elemental Blast. I need them to counter the Archamonster and Bulldrifter. Maybe I can bring in a Relic of Progenitus, but by bringing in Relic of Progenitus, I need to burn out Lightning Bolt, so I'm losing a lot of burn spells. That doesn't seem really great, but since we are playing against a control deck, probably it's fine to have a Relic of Progenitus because we can cycle it. Keep in mind that they have Dust to Dust game 2, and they can exile your artifacts and also your Relic of Progenitus with Dust to Dust. So probably it's better to play Lightning Bolt if you try to play at least around Dust to Dust, because it's not really cool to get your Relic of Progenitus blown up by your Dust to Dust. I think we can try both Red Elemental Blast and Relic of Progenitus, being aggressive with the sideboard against a blue Ephemerate deck seems correct, because it's difficult to play around an Ephemerate deck when you are not playing a counterspell deck. And this end seems kind of reasonable. That's not really great, but we have a kind of good start. Especially they can't exile my land with their Dust to Dust, and seems good to me. We are playing first the Traveling Inspector. If we found another land, we can play the Experimental Synthesizer. Okay, that's an artifact land. Still, I'm gonna play the Gain land and my Traveling Inspector. Wait a minute. They didn't do nothing. Cool. So I'm gonna attack you with Traveling Inspector. Not sure if I should crack my clue token, or I should force a counterspell targeting my makeshift munitions, an example, or probably I should crack the clue token just to play around Dust to Dust and land my Erstwhile Bridge, so they can play Dust to Dust targeting my land at least. And they also had a braid. If they tried to go for... What? They kept Crimson... Okay, they kept the Monarch against me. Seems kind of bad, because I'm more like an aggro deck, but I guess that Monarch is still good as magic card. I mean, there's a 5/2, now they're Monarch, and I'm also losing one land now. I mean, I don't have another land, probably. I can concede. No, it's probably not better to concede now. So let's see if I found a land. I found it. I should go land, Traben, and Ardent Requite. I can't really kill the Crimson Fleet Admiral, since I need to land more creatures to try to steal their Monarch. Anyway, they can have what they can have. If they have Fair Cannonade, they also need an Hydroblast or a Dispo to counter my Galvanic Blast or getting the Monarch. Turn 4 Monarch is still bad against me, because I'm not so fast as an aggressive deck. Yeah, I'm able to win by turn 5 sometimes. They have the Initiative, Soul of Negation. Okay, that's fine. If I found another land, I can go for Makeshift Munitions and Galvanic Blasting, I think. Alright. Let's start with... I should start with Recall Wellspring. No. I think I should go for Galvanic Blast, targeting their Monarch. Attack with all my creatures. Let's see if they double block my Traveling Inspector, or if they lose both their tokens, would be cool. Then I land a Relic of Progenitus, so they can't reanimate their Monarch or their Swarm, so their Soul of Migration. And I think that the correct play here is to play Ardent Recruit, hoping they don't have another... hoping they don't have Dust to Dust. Dust to Dust would be truly bad, because they can exile my Relic of Progenitus and my land. And I have already missed a land drop. Huh. They're not doing anything. Not sure if I should crack my Relic of Progenitus, probably not. So we are gonna take in the Monarch. Let's see. Go, my little creatures, steal their Monarch. I was expecting that. I was expecting another removal spells actually. Exile your graveyard. I think the correct play here is not to play around the counterspell. Okay. Noise. We have enough artifacts now, so we can crack the clue token in end. It's truly sad to had to burn out a lot of burn spells. Eventually I should burn out Makeshift Munition instead of some copies of Lightning Bolt. Because Lightning Bolt can also counter Ephemerate, for example. They're probably going for Ephemerate here. Maybe they also have an answer, a counter spell or an Hydroblast to counter my burn spells. That's truly bad. Okay. Probably we should try to kill their Muldrifter with Makeshift Munitions. Other rounds than Recruit. Oh, that's cool. So we can bait their counter spell on Glinthook. If they don't have a counter spell, I can get some card value from my Experimental Synthesizer. That's nice. Probably should play first Experimental Synthesizer instead of Rudimental Blast. Maybe I'm able to find another Bone Spells or another Rudimental Blast, and I can... okay, there's a land. I shall go for another Glinthook. If they have a Cherry Cannonade, they are also blowing up their Muldrifter. My Muldrifter cost only 1 mana. That's kind of crazy. And now what are you doing? Wow. GG's? Seriously? Wow. That's a... Wow. Thanks for the Monarch, opponent. That... Okay, that's a 3-2. That's good. I mean, I've lost the first 2 rounds, but then I was able to win everything against everyone. I didn't lose a single game. I played against Cycle Storm, another deck, and another deck I don't really remember now. And we finally played around against Jeskai Ephemerate. I thought that Jeskai was a really great matchup for me, but as you can see, Experimental Synthesizer did the job. I mean, I played double Glinthook in a single turn. And those Glinthook exiled, all of them exiled a Rudimental Blast. Okay, losing
Redolent and Blast from Experimental Synthesizer is not really great, but at that time of the game we were playing just to keep the Monarch, or just to try to kill their Muldrifter. So they probably had only one counterspell in hand. So they tried to keep safe their Muldrifter. Probably they wanted to ephemerate the Muldrifter, and thanks to our little creature in form of Ardent Recruit and Glintook, we were able to swarm the battlefield with a lot of creatures with a good body. I mean, 1 mana for a 3/3 creature and 1 mana for a 2/2 creature, which with flying is a lot cheap. Okay, this league went, I think, really well. 3-2 is not really great result, but winning against Cyclestorm and Jeskai by not losing a single match means that if you don't really have a lot of interaction, you can just burn them. That's the good part about this kind of red-based White Winnie decks, because basically it's White Winnie with burn spells. Okay. I'm truly happy about this deck. Obviously, Experimental Synthesizer is not only my idea, because it's obviously that you want to play Experimental Synthesizer with Glintook and Skyfisher, going down with the mana curve and dropping the Monarch, but Screeching Prismatic Strands seems the right choice. I think that I do really like my deck list. I probably don't want to change anything. Maybe you want to change something from your sideboard, from my sideboard, but I'm still pretty sure that this list is still solid and good. Okay everyone, thank you for watching, and we will see in another video.